Welcome in everyone. Before we get into this evening's live, and this is going to be a unbelievable live because of certain events that are starting to take place here, and it's definitely something that changed my mindset here over the last couple of hours. We were in a futures trade and I got out of it. It was about, I don't know, 0.75% up. I made like $1.18 on it, but I could see what was about to transpire, and hopefully this doesn't happen. I am hoping in my heart of hearts that we'll be able to reopen a trade. This will all be forgotten, and that what I'm coming across here doesn't end up playing out, because it looks like to me they're going to use, I don't even want to say it. I actually don't even want to say it because every time this happens, it makes it a little more difficult for some people to come back and support Ripple or XRP, so I don't even want to say it. But let me just say hi to the early comers. Adam Z, welcome in. Ripple continues to dump on us and no one bats an eye. Exactly. I really hoped it would pass 60 cents. That's simply better same. We had a couple nice targets out there, but this definitely puts a damper on things if this ends up playing out the way it looks. Faithful Servant Productions, welcome in. Get dunked indeed. Adam Z sold 93,000 XRP. I'm not taking a chance that they dump on us again. We constantly get close to 60. I mean, I don't blame you. I really don't. It's the same reason why I sold my commodities. As you guys know, I sold B2 Gold at 340. I was not happy. And I was not happy about selling First Majestic. But the way they ran up yesterday, it made me nervous. And today we did not make new highs. That looks as far as from yesterday. So we have a very strange dynamic here. I don't know. There's something going on here that is, it's not like I don't know if we're setting up for some kind of bad event this weekend. Something is setting up in the bigger sphere here, but we're not going to focus so much on that. We're going to focus on XRP. We'll focus on Bitcoin and see what's going on as it hits 63K, but it's struggling in this region. It's struggling as it got up here. So we'll see what the heck is actually going on here. We'll go through what's going on with Ripple first. Obviously, that's what we're going to cover first. We'll get into the intro so that I can timestamp this. And we'll go over the copy trading as we're at an all-time high right now in our copy trades. And then, obviously, we got to go through what's... This is a whole big nightmare. So, Rob Holkalik, welcome in, along with CJ2 Pilot and Mosey here. Thank you, all three of you, for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months plus with the XRP Predictor. And, Rob, thank you so much for helping me when it comes to the copy trading and stuff. It's nice to have somebody to go back and forth with. Tanya, welcome in, love, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for well over a year with the I Told You So badge. It's a known practice at business. Do this to fund the business. It's not just Ripple, and saying that they do it all, a lot of the selling of XRP. Well, a lot of businesses do it, but I think a lot of people just aren't privy to it, is what I would say. I think a lot of people aren't privy to it because Ripple or XRP gets spun in a certain way. But anyhow, I completely agree. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Appreciate you seeing in here as always, JW. Wow, welcome in on the night shift. This should help and spice things up a little bit. Jorge, welcome. RHS, good evening. Devin the Dude, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So bad, and a very trusted mod. I really appreciate that. Line, welcome in. Brandad, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for well over 2 years now with the XP589 Moon badge. Love seeing you in here, friend. Lee Stringfield, welcome in, and good afternoon to you, friend. Let's see. I think that's everything, so we're in real time. So we'll go over everything. We got a few articles here that we must read. XRP whale alert. Ripple moves 100 million tokens to BitSo. Not a standalone article. There's many more. As Grayscale's Ripple Trust soars 11.44%, which is interesting, but that's not what I think is the biggest news. I think, and I'm going to go to the most recent here because there's a couple. This one shows the different exchanges that it was sent to. This one will give us an idea of just a variety. Then we also know we've got the Chris Larson stuff, that he sent 50 million XRP to an unknown wallet. So the fact he moved 50 million XRP, Ripple as a whole moved 100 million XRP today. Chris Larson about 36 to 42 hours ago. What is the reason? I don't believe this is likely for the settlement. That's not what it feels like to me. It's not even enough money to begin with. So that's not what it seems like to me. So is this going to be an event here where we're going to end up dumping on the markets when it was looking bullish? That's a question that I can't answer yet, but hopefully we'll come to a logical conclusion here by the end of this live. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this live. I greatly need that help. I greatly need that help to get new viewers in here. It'll help us keep it fresh, and it'll allow us to have new ideas. But most important, it'll help us stay within the algorithm if you hit that like button, which will be recommended. And then if you're scrolling through YouTube on the news feed, my content will pop up, even if you've never seen it before. So that's actually something very imperative. So make sure to hit that like button. Let me just do a very quick intro here, and I mean quick. Good evening. 5:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, September 19th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Some people ask me a lot, Tom, why are you so positive when you come on the lives? Like, why are you... If XRP's been down for 3 years, how can you still have positivity? Because I can see what's coming. I can see what's coming. It's easier to be positive, too, when you can get in and out of certain parts of the markets, like how we did just over the last, what was it, just at rate cuts. Before the rate cuts happened over the last week, we knew B2 Gold, we knew First Majestic. Well, you know, I might not sleep as easy if I didn't make that, you know, $3,500 in the last 10 days. That's not money that just popped into my pocket. You know, that's money that it didn't fall off a tree. But because of capital I've already earned, and I seen an opportunity, which I put out in front of everybody else, which is the second time over a month, we're able to make just about $2,300 the first time around. Depending on how much you spend, obviously, it's a percentage thing, because I had, I don't even know, how much did I have? Initially, the first time, 6,000, then it made a couple thousand, then 10,000, and that made like 3,000. Yeah, so it's an interesting thing, but watching the market cycle, the point here is just because I like something, or just because you adore something, or just because you feel like you can't live without it. Like, I was married earlier. I thought we did an update. I seen that 30-minute flip. I bought that futures trade. And I thought I was married to it, whether it went all the way down to my stop loss. And I don't even remember what the stop loss and everything. I don't remember what my actual buy-in was. So let me go to the copy. Let this load. So right now, the total P&L is up to $290. That's the highest it's ever been, despite all the BS. That's just where that's at. So if you have an issue with the way yours looks, contact HOTCOIN, because all I can see is how I'm doing. I don't want to diminish what I've been able to do because of HOTCOIN's BS. But I bought in initially at 58.77, and it went up, and I had a stop loss at 58. What was it, 58.30 something? So, I mean, we made minimal profit, but at least the followers made $24. I mean, it's not much to swing home about. But I felt something, and I could not sit in it, seeing what I was. And look, now it would have come below our buy-in. Like, I feel beautiful about this. I feel so good about this only because, you know, I don't know, man. It just doesn't feel right. Something caught me by the testicular. You know, the testicular fortitude drained. It drained, and if I wouldn't have set up that live, I wouldn't even have been privy to it. Like, I would have, but it wouldn't have hit me the way it did. So, I think for our own due diligence and our own sanity, I think we need to start. And I want to, just so you all can see, you guys all know that I was in B2 Gold and all that. I've taken a few thousand off the Cash App now because it doesn't need to be there. Now I'm looking for the next opportunity, but I kept just over 10,000. But you can see I'm not in stocks anymore. I'm not in anything anymore. Everything is gone. So it's all not there anymore. Even the last one I traded, one that I had before, and it was on a little bit of a slope today. It was downward a little bit because yesterday it went to the top. Today it was a little down slope. Even got rid of that last one. So that's where I'm at right now. You know, that's where I'm at right now. Yes, I have my long bag of XRP. Yes, we have our long bag of XRP healthcare that's almost done with the 6-month stake, and it's up for me from my average buy-in, it's about 2.2 cents. So I don't care where it's at right now. That's a big thing that's developing. But something don't seem right, folks, in the markets. And this isn't just crypto. I don't know if this is a setup for another move up right now, or if they're really going to use the buy the rumor, sell the news, and the fact that we had the rate cut. Now people are like, oh, well, it was selling into it. Now we had this initial push up. It almost feels like they're trying to chop our legs off. And I don't want that to be true. Wow. Coffee and crypto, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army. That's certainly, and I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Sometimes, as people say, the timing is everything. I've had probably the worst month of the year on YouTube as far as the donations and things like that. So you could not have made it more timely to let me know that you are doing the right thing, sir. And we appreciate you, because I know a lot of people do. But, you know, sometimes you see some of the stuff slipping a little bit. And, you know, we all have our mental fortitude. So I really appreciate that. Seriously, man, I can't thank you enough. Yeah, I appreciate you thanking me for the copy trades. Despite, you know, the ups and downs that we have with the exchange, I think we handle it very well. And like the PNL's plus 290. So we try to stay within ourselves. But, you know, there are moments. Yesterday we had a 50-something dollar hiccup. And then we were able to recover it within the trade. And now it's come back up. But some people left. 11 people left. You know, and it's unfortunate. But it is what it is. But yeah, let's get into this. I love talking to everybody. But the main reason why I'm in a good mood is because I'm here with all of you. I get to share this with all of you. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd come on here and have 23,500 subscribers. Not even, you know, it's about 3.5 years after I started. And it just, I got asked today in the question. Somebody said, oh, you think it's, somebody actually commented it to me. I think a mod deleted it, or they deleted their comment after I responded because it was gone. But they actually said to me, well, I would make content if it was as easy as it is for you, because you have 23,500 people that are following you. It's different. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not play the victim. Remember, I had to start with 0 as well. Go back to my first video on how different it looked. Do you guys want to see what I looked like on my very first video? Like, it doesn't just start like this. I had an idea. I thought something, what I was seeing, I believed in. And look at this. Like, this is how I started. Listen to me.
That will. Welcome in, everybody. Good afternoon. You can simply refer to me as TSpeaker222. I am here today because I can simply no longer stay quiet.
So, I mean, if you want to watch that video, that's right back in the beginning. It's still my most viewed video to date at 13,300 plus views, 1,500 likes. See how those likes get it through the algorithm? 1,500 likes, and it was able to reach 13,000 people. Imagine if we put that same effort into all of my videos I put out. We could make such a huge difference. Not saying 23,500 is a big difference, but the whole point of this is, you know, you grow into yourself. All you have to do is you have to go with your own belief. And whether anybody follows or not, that's going to be on you. It's going to have to be with your own mindset. So, oh yeah, T-Speaker, I love it. I love it. So let's read this very quickly. So just stay motivated. The opportunity bites you at when you least expect it. You just have to be committed to what you're doing. The consistency will breed the response to be in the right spot. It really will. If you just keep that consistency, I'm telling you, it pays. Look at this. Like, I'm 40 years old. I never thought that I would have one of these. You know, I got a pony. Because I promised my audience I wouldn't cut my hair until XRP hit, you know, all-time highs are at least $1. And that was 15 months ago. So now I got a pony. Which I actually like it. So now I don't need to cut my hair because now it doesn't seem so long. So we're going to be holding this hair until all-time highs. And I may be down to my ass by the time it happens. So we'll see what happens. But I'm in it for the long run. I promise you that. So let's see what's happening with Ripple. Ripple linked wallet moves 100 million XRP amid SEC appeal deadline. A Ripple-linked wallet transferred 100 million XRP, raising speculations it could be related to the SEC appeal deadline, which is fast approaching. That's just not enough, though. If it was for that, wouldn't it be like 200 and something million? I don't know. It just doesn't feel like that's what it is. And when I don't know. Because if they're... Would they even be selling the XRP? Or don't you think the government would want to hold the XRP intact? I feel like the XRP would just sit in a trust to be sold later. They wouldn't send it to an exchange to sell it now. That's where it's bothering me. So, a Ripple-linked wallet recently moved 100 million XRP, sparking a wave of several XRP transactions involving different wallets. Daniel, thank you so much for the being in Tom's Army for over your second month now with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. They are not playing out. Absolutely not. The fact it came through 59 cents for a second time is what caused me the biggest concern. Wow, Randy. Not only in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moonbat sends a $49.99 donation. That's more donations than one that I've probably received in what, the last 2 weeks? 10, yeah. There hasn't been a lot of donations lately, which is fine. I really appreciate that. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, and somebody joined Tom's Army as well during this live, and it's just like, you know, I wouldn't have expected it today. I would have expected more donations yesterday than today for some reason. Or, I don't know. I just don't expect them at all. I know what's going on in the world, and I feel like it's a miracle we do what we do here, honestly. So thank you, Randy. I like, honestly, unbelievable. I really appreciate that. The Gatman, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. He says you're changing lifetime. How is XRPH looking? You started from the bottom with your boy Bob. That's right. We started with Bob. XRP Healthcare is still in that consolidatory phase. It's going to take a little time. But, you know, the big news with the AI, you know, implementation into the XRP Healthcare itself is just, it's just another trend. I think we're so early with that. It's just, I can't even describe it. I think one day we're going to be looking at that. We're going to say, how the fuck did we buy it at 1, 2, 3 cents? I really do. I really, really do. That might, in fact, be our biggest move, even bigger than XRP when it's all said and done. Some people hate when I say that, but it's got less than 70 million tokens. So, let's see. Ripple-linked wallet recently moved 100 million XRP, sparking a wave of several XRP transactions involving different wallets. Well Alert drew attention to the initial transaction, valued at approximately 57.92 million. The XRP transfer has sparked speculation within the XRP community amid the fast approaching SEC appeal deadline. So Ripple associated wallet moves 100 million XRP amid legal heat. According to a Whale Alert, a notable it's XRP Healthcare Barbacoa. And it's hard to find in the USA, but you can find it on the XRP ledger with Zaman, formerly known as Zoom, if you have that cold wallet. You can definitely find it there. And I know there's the, what's that bank one? Fuck, I always forget. Some of you know the one I'm talking about. There's another one in the USA that's available. L something bank, shoot. Let me keep reading this, but somebody will comment it, I'm sure. So according to Whale Alert, a notable tracking platform, a Ripple-linked wallet RP4X2 SKXV3 was involved in several XRP transactions today. Albank, thank you. Jorge, thank you so much. So if you're in the USA, I know you can buy it on Albank, even though technically, if you try to create an account there, they're not going to really let you, but you can just buy XRP Healthcare and send it. You can send it to your XRP Healthcare wallet and just store it there. Or you can send it to your Zoom or now Zaman wallet. Revolt, I don't know if that's in the USA anymore, but I know that name's been said. I can't confirm if it's in the USA or not. Do you know, Tanya? So was involved in several XRP transactions today, including an initial transfer of 100 million XRP to an unknown wallet. But that's the thing, like, it's more than that, though. It's more than that. Following the transfer, the receiving wallet RHWT2E32HK sent 19.957 million XRP to another unknown wallet, R4WF7H4RZN, which promptly distributed these funds to various exchanges. The largest chunk, 19.7 million XRP, went to Bitso, and a smaller parcel of 257,000 XRP was sent to Bitstamp. These transfers are noteworthy as the wallet that initially transferred 100 million XRP earlier this year. Interesting. received 120 million XRP from a Ripple wallet. These transfers also come amid the SEC appeal deadline, which is on October 6th. So what do you make of it? I'm honest. What does everybody make of it? So after this, we're also going to read for anybody who doesn't know. So we'll get into this last part, but now also this. What do you make of that? Right? And this as well. Ripple Chris Larson, 50 million XRP linked to SEC lawsuit. My question here with Chris Larson is, why would he be sending his personal funds? I highly debate that. Not just that, you guys are missing a key point, and so are the people that are creating these articles. It has nothing to do with the Ripple case. You know why? Wasn't a trust already created where the money was already put to the side a couple weeks ago when they got the extension, or at least the approval from the judge to do that? So they already had to put this up. So what's really going on here? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? So if they already put the money in a trust for just in case the SEC doesn't appeal, I'm just saying. So for me, if it comes with Chris Larson, this is likely for Kamala Harris. They like to give large sums of money. There's no doubt about that. And he's a very wealthy man. So would a $25 million contribution to Harris be out of the question? No. And think of it this way. Don't hate him for liking Harris, or don't hate somebody on Ripple's side for liking Trump and donating to the Republicans, and Larson donating to the Democratic side. They're playing both sides of the field right now. What that means is no matter who's in office, no matter what side controls the House and Senate and the presidency, at the end of the day, they're working with the central banks, Ripple. And they prove it by working both sides of the aisle. Hey, these guys really support Trump because of his position. Chris Larson, we don't know why he's supporting Harris, but I guess he is. You know, we get that all the time. So just look at it. They're finessing both sides of the aisle. They're greasing both wheels. Just in case one locks up, they still got the other one moving. See, that's 5D chess being moved here. Most people are like, that son of a bitch, Chris Larson. What the hell is he doing? Doesn't he know Harris and the Democrats are... It's all a big game, folks. Forget the politics. You know, so if you're asking me, this 50 million is for political purposes likely. The 100 million from Ripple, I have no idea. Because it's certainly not linked. I'm telling you right now, it can't be. It can't be, in my opinion, linked. It can't be linked, in my opinion, the 100 million to the lawsuit, because they already put it aside in a trust. That was approved by the judge. They put it aside in a trust because they're waiting. They're waiting for the SEC to make their decision, and then if they agree, that money gets moved over. If not, it's already been put there. So I don't know what all these articles are about. Is this bullshit? Are these people really not understanding what's going on? Are they trying to lie to us just because? Like, at a certain point, we need to ask ourselves sometimes, how can so many people not know the truth, or do they not care to know the truth? Is AI writing these articles? I want to know. Because how could you not know this if you're going to write these? That's all I want. And nobody ever says, well, you know, Ripple already put this money in a trust. Why aren't any of these articles pointing to that? They always say it's likely to do with the case. Bullshit. Sorry, but it makes me hot sometimes. It makes me hot. That's all I'm going to say. Make sure to hit that like button if you appreciate what you're seeing, because I'm not like the rest of everybody. We're going to find the truth here, and by virtue, or by me having an aneurysm, we're going to find the truth. Judge Therese approved that the crypto firm could hold off on paying the $125 million fine until after the deadline to see whether the SEC will appeal. During this period, lawyers representing the firm will keep the money in a trust. It's already in a trust. So if it's in a trust, there's no way that this money that was moved just now could be for the trust. You better believe it, Gabe. But I'm just saying, like, and it makes sense. They would not want us all to be in during the big move. So it makes sense to dump before every rise. And you need the liquidity. Man. You know, and I agree. I know some of you in the audience are getting ready to type. Tom, you need to relax here. So we're going to relax. Some good old Mother Earth. I don't smoke cigarettes, so this isn't a nicotine stick. This is good old cannabis. But guys, I'm just telling you something. There's some bullshit going on in front of us. I can't. Who's Jacob? They expect a big price increase and are moving XRP to exchanges so they can slowly sell. I would love to believe that, but you know, unfortunately, I made the right decision because I would have got. Hey, we would have got stopped out pretty much now, Rob. Oh, I guarantee it, James. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Jacob. I agree. That's why I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I expect a dump, but I would like what you're saying. That's exactly why I was looking at the way I was. Remember, for anybody who was in the earlier update, what did I say? The short-term W should play to 60, but if it almost got up there. It was supposed to go to 59.93, made it up to 59.42 before ultimately reversing if that's what it did. But look, what made me the most nervous today is when you see a W reversal, you never want to see this side higher up than the initial dip. You want to see boom. You want to make it look like the floor is dropping out and the bears are winning, and then the bulls say, not so fast, my friends. What happened here is it just swung around, pulled up, and now it doesn't exert any control, so you don't have that bullish start that you traditionally look here for these setups. So to me, that feels like it's the old tug and twist of the old Groteskies, and the old tug and twist means we're probably coming lower. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it does go lower, because when you tug and twist on the old testicular fortitude, sometimes the old jollies pop and you have a quick rise. You know, if you know, you know. So, but the way it's creating, it's in a rising fucking channel, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. The way this is simultaneously playing out, I hate it. The fact that it lowered the flag, I hate it. Some are like, well, what the hell are you talking about, lowering the flag? It lowered the flag. It's like at half-mast. That's like we conceded, and then we gave it a one last swoop to trap some people, and there's your head. And then if it pulls down, there's a shoulder. Like, I don't like the way I see this. I don't want to see this. I don't want to. I was very happy in that copy trade. I didn't want to take $1.18, but I'm glad I did. Oh, they do get loose there for a second. I admire everybody who stuck around today. See, you allow me to be me. I'll be honest. This is the best version of myself when I can just be me. You know, and I believe in positivity over negativity, so it's an interesting dynamic. I really do. And if this breaks down and gets invalidated, I mean, you're looking at just a correction right back down. Like I said when this live started, I hope I'm wrong in this case. I do. Just like I said with commodities earlier, I hope I'm wrong when B2 Gold was up to 337 and I was already out. First Majestic was back up to 630. I was already out after it made the push, you know, up to the top yesterday. And I said if I got to, I know my levels if it goes too high, but I have a bad feeling. Typically gold will go up 10 to 15% after a rate cut. I know we got this push up, and gold, honestly, I hope this circumvents everything, gets to 26.16 and continues going up. I'm just starting to believe, even before this happened, that we were starting to exhaust ourselves. Is that an exhaustion wick? Is that a flag that's going to be lowered? You know, like, I see something happening. I feel like, are we going to do an event this weekend? And maybe this can be void by the end of this live. Maybe XRP, and I beg of you, XRP, please, just push up to 60 cents and give us some false hope, even if that's all it is. If you can't be you, who can you be? Well, that's a hell of a question. You can be just like 95 out of 100 people you walk by in the street that can't think, act, or do anything for themselves. 95% of society's got a mental illness now, and nobody wants to say anything. So you have to be true to yourself. That's all I can say. And if you are watching, make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this live. I don't think you're going to find content like this anywhere else. I don't. I think Gregory Manarino does a fine job, though. He's one who speaks his mind. He does a fine job. Some people hate him. A lot of people. He lost a lot of subscribers the other day because of his stance. But hey, I encourage you to, you know, speak your mind. Peter Schiff's another great one if you find some time. Mike Maloney, he's getting up there in years. You know, all of our favorite guys, even Gregory Manarino's, he's in his upper 50s now. He's a younger man still. Peter Schiff's in his early 60s. Mike Maloney's like in his 70s now, or at least yeah. Robert Kiyosaki's got to be up near 70, if not more. So all these guys that have been so influential for me, I know they're not going to always be around. So I'm trying to get as much as I can while I can. And I'm 40 right now. I'll be 41 in December. So when I started here, I was 38. You know, it's just time goes. And time just goes. That, I mean, it's a crazy thing how fast time goes, but it really, really does. Fear and Greed Index is at 49 right now. Yesterday, it's at 45. Last week, it was at 31. Remember, just about in the past, you know, not so distant past, we had extreme greed in the market at 74. And look at, once we had extreme greed, and look at how they do this. July 29th, the most greed there was in the market. Everybody's buying, they didn't give a shit. Then, all of a sudden, extreme greed. You know, extreme fear, nobody bought. Everybody said this isn't even a good buy. I'm waiting for it to go to all-time lows. And then people got wrecked on the top, wrecked on the bottom by virtue because they didn't buy the rally that ensued. You know, it's a shame what happens. It really is. Remember, if you don't know anything else about crypto, if it's in fear, buy. If it's in greed, sell. If you still don't know anything about crypto and you get nervous, if it's in fear, buy. It hits neutral, sell. Make the quick trades. Make the quick trades. But when the whole market starts lining up like that, even Bitcoin makes me feel like it just came up to the target that we had just because. Like it just wanted to come up here. And you know, for Bitcoin, it basically filled that target. I'm okay with this. So now it filled it. That's close enough for me. 200 points. I'm not going to make a big deal about that. So 63,952 area is now where we're going to have to get on top of and break. You know, and it's come up to this area now. There's two areas we thought it could come up to, and it's come up to them now. I've noticed that, too. The market will start dumping on Thursdays and the Fridays. And then if it's meant to pump, it'll follow through on the weekend. Or if the dump continues, then we have a thinly traded weekend. And then usually, it'll give you a little false hope on Saturday. Late Friday into midday Saturday into early Sunday. And then right when the futures market comes online, it's like something majestic happens in those overnight hours, how they like to slash the market. I got a bad feeling we could have something happen this weekend. And I don't mean Michigan football losing by 72 to USC. Oh, no. We're going to have an orgy in that game. Oh, yeah, Alex Orgy starting that game. I'm not talking sexual, you perverts. Get your minds right. You know, when we think too much on the porno side, that's a big distress. That's something I stay away from. When I was younger, I used to not. But over the last couple decades, that's something that I've definitely... I don't know. I seen what that was doing, and that's a weird thing. That's a weird fucking dynamic there, because a lot of people say they can't find the intimacy. That's because they can't get it up, or they can't find that spark because they're so used to their mind going to that fantasy. You want to get that intimacy from a real person. I promise you, it's much better. I promise you. Do something else. Do a favorite activity. Go to the gym whenever you want. You know, go find something else to do. You'll store more energy as well. And then when you're with your significant other, you go... Right? And then it's a better orgasmic experience in itself. I don't know how we got onto that topic, but we did. It's much like crypto. In a sense. But never be afraid, too, when you're trading. Don't be afraid. You're right. You're absolutely right, JNL. And then what ends up happening, you become desensitized and you look for more and more. And maybe... And you've seen it with a lot of people that get caught up with this. They end up going down a road that they never thought they would. And then what ends up happening? They find themselves down on 8 Mile. You know, I don't even want to go through it. I don't even want to go through it, you know. So, but it's the same thing with everything. If you're a leverage trader, this is the problem with leverage trading. Let's just say you were trading 5x for a while, right? Hey, this is great. I'm making 5 times more than spot. Well, then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I forgot Tanya's daughter. This did not just happen. That was a dream. XRP Future Millionaire speaks crypto after all, and precious metals sometimes. But oh, it changed my life in my 20s, Gabriel. Once it changed everything. I can't even explain it. Changed everything in my 20s. I'm getting older now. I'm in my 40s now, but I still have good memories. At least while they're still here. But like, think of leverage. 5x, so you think it's good. But you're still able to moderately figure out what's going on, right? Now, you switch it up to a 20x one time, and you hit it. Maybe you're not even good at trading, and you're like, holy shit, I put $100, I did 20x. The price went up 3%, but I made 60. Oh my God. My $1,000, that's a $600 gain. Well, when you were doing 5x, you know, it went up 15%. You're like, man, instead of making, I made 4 times, so instead of making $150, I made $600. Oh, this is easy. Let me try 50. Oh, you hit it again. Oh my God. Now I made 150%. Well, now you get used to that. Now all of a sudden you make a trade, it's up 8%, and you've made, you know, 40 bucks, 60 bucks, 100 bucks. It's, you know, oh, well, this isn't enough. I want to make 500. Well, then you start chasing that, and then it doesn't work, and you become impatient, so you keep raising the leverage. Well, eventually you start finding out you keep passing up on easy money. It's all a downward spiral. Oh, you're down. Oh, thank you, Tanya. See, what a blessing that I said it when I did. So, but I mean, has anything during this live made you feel like anything we were seeing prior to it make you feel any better? Bitcoin was at 63,100 when I started. We've only been live for 36 minutes. Has it really been 36 minutes already? Holy crap. Do I ever shut up? Don't answer that. Nobody needs to answer. Come on, baby. We got 1 hour and 36 minutes to reverse our fortunes here. We don't want to put in a lower high. And unfortunately, we put in right now a lower high. I mean, did we? Or did we make a new high? No, wait a minute. We made a new high today, I think. Today we might have made a new high. No, yeah. From today's we made a new high. What about the week? Ah, fuck. That's not even close. That's not even close. That's an engulfing candle on the weekly, but we never even came. We need to do some work here, folks. We need to do some works here, or some work here. We don't want to put in a lower high here. A lower high could be a sign of a little reversal here. We do not want to see that. Lower highs aren't good. See evidence. You know, it came up. We're looking for continuation. Lower high. Ended up falling down. Still, once we came back up, we looked for confirmation. Lower low. I mean, we really don't want to come down here. Yeah, I seen your SCI thing earlier about you shorting it. That was a hell of a move. I think that was you in the comments. I didn't have time to comment back. I don't remember what I was doing, but I seen it scroll across my phone. I think I don't know where I was at. Somewhere with the kid. One of the kids. Yeah, Rage Monkey. I knew it was you. That was a great short. He put it in real time in the comments. So if anybody else wanted to at least look at it and consider it, he put it in there in the comments and talked about it. So he said, I'm shifting my gears from XRP and Bitcoin, and I'm going to focus on a short from SCI. I remember particularly you putting that in there, and I'm like, huh, that's an interesting trade. You're a clever guy, I'll tell you that. You're very clever. And I've not seen it work out less than 3 or 4 times now in real time. I've seen it work out at least 3 or 4 times, not less than that, in real time after you put it in. And he puts it in the comments. And look, 3x short. See? That's what I like. That's what I like. Like, I do 5x now with the community instead of 10. And there's reasons for that, but I like that. It gives you opportunity to let it play out. True, welcome in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, I think this is so fun as well. It's fun with all of you. I don't know. I'd be going insane by myself. I got to run inside and grab my water. I am dying for a drink, and I need to go grab my water. I put it in the freezer before I started. If it gives you any solace, I've got a quick thing I want you to watch with Peter Schiff. And I was going to save this till the end, but I need to grab my water. So just listen to this.
It makes me so mad that billionaires pay less in
taxes. Oh, for Christ. All right. Again, enough. We're playing the victim. Ready? I'm going to tell you the truth right now, thanks to this commercial. She just said, I'm so tired of the rich, ready? Or the corporations getting all these tax breaks, right? I'm tired of the billionaires. Well, let me tell you a hard truth, folks. They're only getting a tax break because they get incentives. One, for the businesses to give you a fucking job. You like making your payments. You like making rent. You like paying your bills. You like feeding your kids. You like having a start. Nobody says you got to end at that job, but you got to start somewhere to make some money. Once you make some money, you make the right investments. You don't have to go to that job anymore. That's how it works. But until then, you need some capital, and you need to bring some capital in every single day. By virtue, by some way or another, you have to bring capital in. I don't care who you are. So you're going to have to deal with these greedy corporations, as they call it. Sorry you get to eat. Sorry they're taking all the risk. But the other part is, the rich, most of them, you know why they don't pay taxes? It's because they fund this country. You know how that is? Nobody wants to talk about it, but I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? So you don't have to go to bed tonight not fucking understanding. Because I get so sick of all these lies for the people. They lie to the people so much. That's why my jollies are off, Lee. I've got my panties in a bunch, and I'm okay with it, because in this case, they need to be. But the whole thing with the rich don't pay the taxes, you know what they do? They buy real estate. You know what you need to do to buy real estate? They take out loans. Or they take money and they do a cash deferment, which means those taxes are deferred. They don't magically disappear, but they're deferred. And then, because they're taking out these mortgages, the government, you know, all of everybody on Section 8 and everybody who has housing and everybody who can't afford their food or their kids or everything else, the ones who are relying on the government, these same greedy bastards as they talk about, they're the ones who are single-handedly flipping the bill for you, along with the actual ones who are going to work. But for the bigger part, it's them, because you know what the government does when they take out a mortgage and they use some of their profits to do that? Now they can take it 10 or 20 fold and print money at that pace. So they take a property out for 1 million, the government prints 10 million. So they give a tax break. That's how it works. Instead of being inept, instead of being uneducated and wanting to play the victim, I suggest everybody watching me, and if you want to unsubscribe, if you don't want to keep watching, that's fine with me. You know, I'm okay with it. I want winners, and I want people who really want to succeed in life. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not doing it. So it's better to know what's going on, so when you watch these commercials, you can change it. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. Watch this. I'm going to go get my water.
We begin our commercial-free coverage with Nataline Securities Global real message behind the bigger chop. We begin our commercial-free coverage with Nataline Securities Global Fixed Income Head Andy Brenner and Euro-Pacific Chief Economist Peter Schiff. Andy, give me your headline right now from all that we have heard on this pretty momentous day.
This was a hawkish 50 basis point cut. If you look at what Powell said through the conference, he told you the economy's still good, so we knew that he was trying to let you know that he's not going to cut aggressively. And we think Powell had to do a lot of horse trading with some of the newer and some of the hawkish Fed governors, and that's why the SEP or the dot plots is not as aggressive as we would think. We still think there's going to be at least another 75 basis point amount of cuts between November and December. We called for 50. We were right. We called for 125 for the year. And we think we're going to be right. But of course, time will tell. So this was a hawkish 50 basis point cut. That's why 10 years got down to 362, 363. And as you just said, they're now three.
If you understand what I'm saying, hit that like button. Prove to me that some of you understand. Hit the like button. At least let me have the satisfaction of getting a win today and being over 100 likes. Give me a triple digits by the time this video is over, and I'll be happy.
71, and the 2 years got down.
Although I am the happiest person in the world today because one person joined Tom's Army live on stream. That is unbelievable. And Randy sent a rather generous donation as well.
To 352, and now they're back to 364. This is not a great cut for the market, which is why your S&P and other equities keep flipping.
To that end, can we put up the S&P? It is now in the negative, down 1 point. This is a moving target, folks. Peter Schiff, there was one dissent. This was not unanimous. Michelle Bowman did say she thought it should be a 25 basis point cut. Do you see a mistake here?
Well, I mean, any cut was going to be a mistake. I think the Fed caved into the pressure of market expectations and cut 50 when they probably were set to do 25 a week or two ago. But I think they changed their minds. But look,
what the hell is going
the
on?
market is
That picture looks like
delivering
ass.
a verdict here. Interest rates are rising. They're not falling. Long-term interest rates are going up. And I think the Fed rate cut marks the low in long-term treasury yields and mortgage yields. So I think you're going to start to see rising interest rates as the Fed cuts rates. And so you're not going to get the benefit that you might assume.
Well,
you're going to get an increase in consumer prices.
I just want to tell you, okay, before the cut.
I want to acknowledge what Gabriel said. And I need one person to comment. Thank you all for the likes, up to 107. And follow Peter Schiff, too, while you're at it. 586,000 subscribers. The guy's a genius, in my opinion. He tells you the way it goes. He's taught me a lot. Let me get on my phone so I can see that comment and read it. Because that absolutely, that was, I don't even know, that sometimes you read something and it just, you get motivated by it. Gabriel said, as more strong and prosperous people is allowed to be as better for our country. Dubai is a gigantic success due to all the capital flowing and smart people investing in their town. Exactly. 100%. Wise words, my friend. I'm proud to have you in the audience, I must say.
You're going to get the benefit that you might assume. Well, you're going to get an increase in consumer prices.
I just want to tell you, okay, before the cut, prime rate, this is the rate upon which auto loans and a lot of loans are built, had been at 8.5%. We are hearing breaking news. Truist has just cut its prime rate, Peter, to...
Listen to what Peter Schiff says here as well. This is very important. And guess what? 50 basis point rate cut. Come on, guys and gals, wake up. This is another thing. Oh, they're helping all the workers. Bullshit. BS. Would you rather in your savings account make a 0.5% more? I would. Do you want to have 200 or 2% less after the next couple rate cuts? They're talking about a 50, another 50 to 75, and then another 100 and beyond. That's 2.25% you're losing. So, okay. I'm gonna stop cursing. I'm sorry. Because I don't want to have that kind of an atmosphere. I apologize. I'm gonna calm down. You smell that? That's calm time. We're not gonna let them get us emotional. But sometimes I just need to come out strong in certain aspects. I want everybody to be wise. Don't buy into their game. We are not victims. Black, white, I don't care what color you are. We're all the human race. There's no debate there. There's no racism. There isn't. We're all the human race. Don't play the victim. Don't play the race card. Don't buy into the racism, and don't be, somebody who perpetuates racism, black or white. They want you to feel like a victim and you can't do something, so you put limitations on yourself. What if I told you can do whatever the heck you want? It don't matter if you're black or white. If it was as simple as you're black and you can't do something, or you're white and you can't do, or the white's privilege, if it was that's the case, I'd have all the money in the world right now simply because I'm white and wouldn't have had to go through the hardships. If it was just as easy as if you're black and you can't get ahead, well, how do you explain some of the most prosperous people in the world are African American? That's not by coincidence. They've got a brain. They want you to believe if somebody's black, they're dumb, or if they're white, they're privileged. Don't buy into it.
8%. So they're coming down.
Yeah, but that's a short term. And of course, depending on what rate you get over prime, rates are headed up. Credit card rates are going up. They're at record highs and they're going higher because defaults are rising. And the inflation is not dead and buried like Powell claims. It's about to come back for a whole new lease on life. In fact, it never really got close to 2%. The Fed is playing around with numbers. And I think we're already in a recession. It's not about how strong the economy is. I mean, that was just all a bunch of talk because he's trying to talk up the economy because he's trying to help out Harris and try to, continue this false narrative that we have a strong economy. We have a weak economy. The only thing that's strong is inflation, and people are about to see how much stronger it's about to get now that the Fed is throwing gasoline on the fire.
To your point, the short-term Treasury yields are tanking. We just saw the 3-month down about 10 basis points. Andy Brenner.
In due respect for my dear friend, Mr. Schiff, I think he's got some good points in that I think the term premium of the long end of the Treasury market is going to go higher, but I do think rates are going to stay lower. We just moved, 10 years were 4.5.
The government is buying the Treasuries.
They were down to 355 or something like that. I do think the Fed does not believe that we're in a recession. I don't believe we're in a recession. I don't believe we're going into a recession. I think inflation is tame.
We're in a recession. We've been in a recession. And all this is going to do is bring us into hyperinflation. That's all you need to know. I've been saying it since 21.
But I do not think that rates make sense to buy right here.
Do you? Is anybody shocked, Peter? Are you shocked that Fed Chair Powell, who has been incredibly measured and very anxious about making sure he's brought inflation down, went with the crowd? Because, again, most of them felt it should be a cut of 50 basis points. Some even felt it should be 75 basis points because he has been very concerned that inflation, at least in certain pockets, remains sticky.
Well, look, if Powell cared about inflation, he never would have cut interest rates to zero in the first place or left them there as long as he did. He wouldn't have done all this quantitative easing. Inflation is the Fed's tool. That's the only tool they actually have in their chest for trying to artificially stimulate the economy. Powell said that the Fed's job is to support the economy. That's not the Fed's job. Unfortunately, that's what Powell thinks is his job, and he thinks the way you support the economy is by creating inflation. Well, the problem is he created way too much inflation, and now inflation is the problem, and now he's trying to solve that problem with more inflation. And, Powell indicated that for a while he could keep doing quantitative tightening while they're cutting interest rates. Well, I think by Q1 of next year, the Fed is going to be back to quantitative easing because the rate cuts are not going to stop the recession, and they're going to result in higher long-term interest rates. And then the Fed is going to try in a panic.
Of course, the only one who I ever listen to that actually makes sense when they talk on the media is Peter Schiff. Like, I wish everybody would talk like this. Just amazing. And nobody listens to him. Everybody who's watching this right now acts like he's a jackass. Who's watching it in the main media. Not on my station, because I've got winners at my... We are winners here. We don't play the victim, and we're educated here. So I'm not talking about you, but the general populace...
reduce long-term interest rates by going back to quantitative easing.
As for anybody who watches Gregory Mannarino, they got us by the gabagool. Okay? If you don't know Gregory Mannarino, go follow him. But they got us in the gabagool.
That's just going to increase the pain because it's going to send the dollar through the floor, gold and other commodity prices through the roof, and consumers are not only going to be dealing with a loss of jobs, but much higher prices when they go to the supermarket or any place else that they try to spend their rapidly depreciating dollars.
Peter, Andy, we are watching a market that's still in...
Good enough for that. Lee, that's why I paid my house off. That's a true story. I could have kept the cash. I decided to pay my house off 9 years early. I wasn't planning on it, but, I did, compounding things. I always tell people I'm not a millionaire yet, but you're watching me attain the assets and to get there. So I don't know what this world has to offer. As far as to the ones who are just waiting for somebody to, to do it for you, you're in a lot of trouble here. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you're in a lot of trouble. The U.S. dollar in just in the beginning, because the dollar is a unit of debt. That's all it is. It's a promissory note of debt. So all it was telling you when the dollar first came out, you would take it and you would have to give them $20 and you would get 1 ounce of gold. It's a promissory note. It's a promissory note to redeem for gold. At least that's what it was. Then all of a sudden, we are where we're at today. Now, to get 1 ounce of gold, the dollar is still the same dollar. It takes over $2,570 to get 1 ounce of gold if you redeem it with your dollar. And to redeem the gold is actually real money. The dollar is currency. The fact they don't teach us that in school tells you all you need to know. It's a big conspiracy right out the gate. When I was a kid, the most important thing they told you was to do a checking account and to understand loans when you grew up and all this stuff. They didn't tell you a damn thing about that in school. You know what they taught me how to do in school? Nothing. They taught me propaganda. And the higher level of a degree you have, the more propagandist you likely are. That's why the ones who we perceive as the smartest are actually the most controlled, and that's scary. The smartest people we have amongst us are the most controlled. So we have a big disadvantage. So I always say, if you find the right people, you got to stick with them. You are who you associate with. A lot of times people ask me in this very community, why don't you watch these people that we tell you to watch? But hello, because most of them I know are just pushing BS so they can make a quick buck. That's why I tell everybody, and most of you don't listen, but some of you do, to watch Peter Schiff, to watch Robert Kiyosaki. And some of you say, oh, Peter Schiff, he's a dick when it comes to Bitcoin. You know? It's all it. But I try to, Jordan Peterson, you know, Mike Maloney, Ben Mala, Jordan Peterson, I think I've already said. There's just Joe Rogan. There's certain demeanors that I would like to ascertain. And Joe Rogan, for me, somebody who's in media, who's trying to do his own platform, and I do it in a podcast style when I do my hourly lives. It's just I don't call them podcasts. I could say live episode number, so many, and I could go back to the beginning of time and say this is live number whatever, but that's not. It's just I don't know. We're just getting to a point where we're in a lot of trouble, that's all. And I don't want anybody to feel like you've got no chance, but the longer you wait, the less of a chance you have. And unfortunately, back in 21, my big pitch was, all right, we got this profit from XRP, our crypto profits. We'll wait until the right time. And in 22, we got that big dump in crypto, or precious metal, or the gold and silver bullion, precious metals. So then we were able to get out of the dollar there, a lot out of the dollar. I've been doing this since 2017 to put it in 2018 to put it in perspective. In the beginning, oh my God, it's one piece of silver. Who cares? It's nothing. After you start doing it for a while and you realize what's going on, it's just like when you buy a stock over time. After a while, you're like, holy shit. But sometimes it's like, oh shit, I overinvested because now it went down 70%. I don't worry about that with gold and silver. Are you understanding me? Probably by the time we are in 2030, it's not going to be 2,576 for 1 ounce of gold. It's probably going to be 1 in 8,000 or 10,000 to get 1 ounce of gold. I mean, some people want to save $1 million in the bank. Why? If you want to save $1 million, buy gold. The bars are very discreet. You could do a lot with them. It just, I don't know. It's getting out of control here. And some people are like, why do you lose your patience? I just want people to have a chance. It's not even losing my patience. It's just, you know why I get so upset before I leave? I'm going to be honest with you, because I know they're winning. I know they're winning. And I know my son's got a very little chance with what I see in front of me. The only reason he's going to have a big chance, and sure, I don't know what's going to happen with him, because he got into a very bad car accident when he was 6 months old. He didn't test out as autistic, but he's developmentally delayed. He's non-verbal, but we're gonna get him. He's gonna get an autism test too as he gets a little bit older. just so that we can get them the funding, because we need a diagnosis, and they're diagnosing everybody, because then you get more, you know, benefits. But still, the biggest benefit I'm going to give him is the fact that I understood the monetary policy even before he was born, you know, and by doing what I do, he's never going to have to worry. I guarantee it. The generations after me, for the speakers, will never have to worry again. I don't care if you're my own speaker, my cousin's speaker, the speakers, if you're a part of my inner speaker, you're going to be set. And I always say it has to start somewhere. My dad came off of the boat from Italy, so, you know, he's in his 40s, and that was during the whole Mussolini allowing Hitler to take over and all the stuff. Some of you know the story. My grandpa, his family owned a store, and above it our family lived, and Hitler ended up taking over that and made it a base during all that time. So it ended up being a base for the Nazis, and they basically, well, some of the family died, obviously, you can imagine. And then in school they tried to teach us something else, and that was when I first got suspended, like majorly suspended, and got in a lot of trouble, because I told my teacher, I don't care what you're, you know, and I knew the family story, and it's kind of a bittersweet moment, because some of our family didn't make it out of there, and I never got to meet that side that could have been materialized. So then my grandpa comes over, right? And he sends all of his family over one by one, brothers and sisters. His parents couldn't come over, and I'll let you imagine. So then my dad, my grandpa, you know, he died of cancer. He was in the militia and all this stuff, and he worked with all the chemicals. And, you know, then there's my dad. And it was hard for us when we were growing up. We didn't have a lot. But now he's worked his way up, and now that he's in his mid-60s, you know, he's the guy who went from living in a tiny apartment with 3 kids, you know, to now all of a sudden his kids are grown, but now he, because of his paying his dues over 4 decades, he was able to buy a $600,000 house, which when we were kids, we were getting the off-brand, like everybody laughs because it's funny stories, but there used to be Frosted Flakes. Then there would be the off-brand of the Frosted Flakes, like the store brands. Then there would be the off-brand of the off-brand. So my Frosted Flakes had a bear on it, you know, when I was a kid. I didn't eat Honey Nut Cheerios or Cheerios. We ate some other things that were, they should have called them Styrofoamios. You know, so I had the off-brand of the off-brand on everything I had. Like, that's how everything was. So, but now my kids, I didn't, when I became an adult and when I was living, I was piss poor. I had $50 a week for food. I didn't have food stamps, but I had $50 a week for food. Actually, there might have been a time when I broke my back. I may have actually had, like, might have gave me $100 a month. But, so I had $50 a week for food. And I just remember those times, because that's what makes you turn into who you are. You really do turn into who you are. And now, for my son, because of what my grandparents sacrificed, his parents sacrificed, and what my dad ultimately sacrificed as well with my mom, we're going to be able to, and my parents have been divorced since I was 8, so my mom's life took quite a different turn, but, you know, another story for another day. Not all bad. She had a moment where she ended up, for over 15 years, had a job. If she would have still did what she did and never went down the path she did, probably making 6 figures right now, but that's another story. But, you know, we are who we are. But now I'm just trying to set it up. So my whole goal in life right now, I'm 40 right now, so I got time. I have a feeling I'm going to live in my 80s or 90s. And I think that's a pretty fair, and it even could be an underestimate because of the way I've lived my life and the things that I've known early on. Unless I get strong, and I don't have the best luck, as some of you know. So you never know. If God wants me, he'll take me. But I think I'm here for a greater purpose, and I think you're seeing it. I think this is my purpose, honestly, and the things I do outside of it. But I'm building something that, when I say generational, I'm not bullshitting you. When I was talking about that in my first video, I am not talking about, you know, I'm not BSing. I know what is going to happen. I'm just, hey, if everybody's dedicated enough, they'll end up being part of the ride. And some people are like, XRP, you're never going to make you know what? You know what XRP's already done for me? Because of that bull market in 21, I turned 35. Ooh. Here's our 30-minute candle. This is just like earlier. This is where we could technically try to take out a long here. This is what I was waiting for to see if it would do this. We've got 8 minutes left. Technically, we could now put in a stop loss at 58. 58.40 area, right? Now on, just to let you know, when I take out a trade on HOTCOIN, I get a 0.17 differential. So if the price, I take it out and it's 58.40, the exchange, I will open it, but it'll actually be working off of 58.23. So then I have to do the stop loss appropriately. But I figured it out now. So that's a differential I have to work with. But right now, if we're talking about a futures trade, these are what you're looking for. We came down for liquidity. And if we're going to come up and actually fulfill this 60 cent mark, or ultimately it could be 60.7, it's either or. First target would be on the small bull flag, 59.93. Upper target, 60.73. This is where I become intrigued, because this is where I would consider reopening that long position. It's almost in the exact same spot we had it before. But we're going to get revalidation. I would have got stopped out as it, you know, when it came down. It came well below where we bought in. So that would have just been a $7 loss just to look at it right now and be like, oh, I think it's time to buy back in. So, like I said earlier, I'll use this as a teaching moment. We can use it as a teaching moment. Just add it to your copy. What do you mean? We're not in a oh, you mean money in there. So, I think that could be a good moment. Let's go into the copy trading. I'm glad all of you stuck around during this live. I really am. A lot of stuff to talk about. I hope some of you subscribe that are new. It's my hope at the end of the day that we can get some new faces in here as well. So if we look at the futures, we copy, we go into my lead trading. Right now, I started with the $100 challenge. We're up $290.09. That's my P&L. What the exchange does to everybody, I don't know, and I don't want to damper what I've accomplished because of the exchange problems, because it's hurt me as well at times, as you know. But as of right now, the P&L is $290.09. I can't switch that, so that's my P&L. That's what I've made while trading. You know, so basing it on this, what I've started to do, and I started to figure out this system more, especially yesterday with some of the things they were doing, and it's good to see a couple people started coming back. But right now, because of our trading, we have $388 at our disposal. I started with $100. $388 at our disposal, which means I can only use $388. But I would open this trade at 220. I'm going to show everybody right now, because that is a bullish reversal. These are what I look for in a short time frame. But it could fall down. So watch what I'm saying so I can show you, so nobody can have to question anymore about what the exchange does to us and what I have to deal with. And the true miracle of me being up $290 is what I have to deal with right now. Watch this. So stop loss should be at 58.45. So remember that on USDT, 58.45. So we're going to open the good luck. We're going to open a good luck trade. And of course it won't do this exact amount. But look, the price here says 58.78. So it is lower than it is right here. Right here it's 58.93. So that's a 0.15 differential. Wait a minute, that's bigger right now. We got to remember this. And I have to know all the information before I do this. 58.78. Okay, 0.015 we'll just say, even though it's 1415. So now if I open this trade, I'm going to go $222. Wait a minute. That's not right. What did I just do? Hold on, I can't see. I can't see. All right. So I'm going to do... No, I don't want to do that much. We're going to do $222 right there. So watch, I buy. So we bought. See how now the price? We're already down. Nothing happened. We're down a little bit, but right now I have to base that stop loss now. So see how it says 58.90, but we got 58.77. Before, it was giving me the price of 58.90, but making us start at 58.77. So that's something that at least changed a little bit. Now, the problem here is we know the stop loss, and this is what I have to deal with. The stop loss needs to be at 58, because if it comes below this, inverted or this hammer, or what it was trying to do, if it comes below this thesis is invalidated. So you try to mimic your losses, but you try to find an opportune moment. So right now I'll say 58.46 the stop loss. We can't put it at 58.46 because it's showing 58.77 right now. While over here it's showing 58.95. So now we got to do it from 0.15 down. Actually 0.18 down right now. 0.18 down. So we have to put the stop loss 0.18 down from 58.46. So that would put the stop loss at 58.28. And this can only come with experience for me on the exchange to get at a finite level. And this is what I talked about in the beginning. And once I get like this, I'm going to be even more deadly in a good way. So now the stop loss, 0.5828. Our risk is 4.16%, or $9.21. That is our risk on this trade. Now, I will look, I will confirm it, and then I will reassess what this says at 58.80 and what this says right here. So 58, so it's 0.016 is what it looks like. And I gave us some room, so 0.016 it's supposed to be at, and now we can finute this now. Now I like to finute it because I don't want to give them anything more than I have to. So the number here is, okay, so that's good. Everything seems good. So we have a $9 risk here. So if we lose our P&L, if we lose, and we go into the history, I'll lose $9 and something cents. I'm not going to do anything to the trade. Actually, I am. I'm going to add $4, I think, to try to get it to $2.22. Let's see if it works. Damn. This time, of course, it does the whole thing. It never does the whole thing except this time. Rah! I wanted to say, this is on HOTCOIN. You can copy trade me on HOTCOIN. It's in the video description below and our pinned comments. So my lead trade. So now if we lose, it's like, I'll be at like $280 in profit right now. So I've got some to work with, but this is how I like to try to trade. I look for an opportune moment, and I'm not begging it. I'm not praying. I understand how to trade. So we won't be charging system participants and fees. We make our money from a portion of the interest earned. I mean, fair enough. So, because I'm senile, I'm gonna close. No, I'm not closing the trade. I don't even know if it'll let me do $3. I wanted $3, but it won't let me. Forget it. I wanted it to be $2.22. It's a good gesture. It's a good gesture. It's like we believe in you, market. So anyhow, I gotta go, everybody. I gotta go. I've overstayed my welcome because I gotta go help Julie. I know you guys all love me, but I need to go help Julie. What we're looking for here on this 30-minute candle, it looks like a reversal. It's an engulfing candle. And now we're looking for this continuation up. See how it changes on a dime? Right back in, similar spot. We were able to wait it out. We didn't get that stop loss or anything now that we possibly could have had. Going down to 58.46 here means on the exchange we got stopped out. Rob, we would have got stopped out, buddy. We would have got stopped out. We would have just lost $7 just to re-enter the trade. Remember what I told you before? That $1.18 didn't seem like a lot, but it at least stopped us from losing that, that stop out fee. And then you start adding that up. So now we lose $9. It would have just been like getting stopped out. So now we get the bonus here. And now maybe we can get this push after that liquidity pull because we've been getting it. We got one here and now one here. And now we have an engulfing candle. Not saying it's guaranteed to play out, but we have our risk modified. It's about a $9 and we'll call it a 50-cent risk. Win, loss, or draw, at least we put ourselves in a spot we think is going to work out. Oh, check my text. I just opened a long just before you called it with exact stop loss. Excellent, Rob. So you're starting to understand the system too. See, 2 likes, 2 minds are better than 1. Telling you. And when you see the engulfing candle, like this is how I trade. Some people are like, Tom, isn't leverage hard? It is. But you got to make sure that you have your P's and Q's. And that's why I also tell you, you know where most of the people got in trouble who copy me? Instead of just copying my exact trade, they put it to where if I open a $100 trade, they open $1,000. So if I lose $9, they lose $90. So imagine a day like yesterday where at a point I was down $59. They'd be down $590. In some cases, $1,000. And then some of those people left. And then I recovered all of those losses and then some. But they already left. You know, so for me, $59 is a lot different than $600 or $1,000. See, that's where it gets tricky. Like I opened a $222 trade or $225. I guarantee somebody within the copy probably has a $700 or $800 trade open. I'm basing mine on a $9 loss. Theirs might be much higher. So try to be transparent with me. I try not to add to the trade. And I'll give a HOTCOIN credit. Today, I don't have the issues of the open fucking close. That was so stressful. So. But I have complete confidence over time we're going to do great. So. But I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I hope I was able to shed some light on what I thought was going to happen in the market. I hope you have a better understanding of what's going on. And until next time, I can't wait to see everybody else on the live. An hour and 15 minutes. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day.